Today we're brewing a brown ale. Nice and comfortable, nice and warm. So let's go and take a look and see what we're doing. I'll explain the brew method, the typical brew methods, and I'll explain my approach to mashing my beer, I guess. Alright, so mashing beer means when you mix your grain. Sugars are extracted from grains such as barley or wheat, mostly barley, unless you are brewing a wheat beer, then you would use a mix of barley and wheat, but most beers are majority barley, if not all barley. That's just the way it works. So you want to put warm water, there's more to it, but basically you heat up water to a certain temperature, you mix up your barley, which is what this is over here. You see the grain. Now I'll explain what I'm doing here. Now what's happening is there's these things called enzymes. These are found naturally in nature. There's enzymes, and they break down the proteins that's found in the grains to extract both fermentable sugars and non-fermentable sugars. Fermentable sugars, of course, lead towards you extracting the sugars that the yeast can convert it into booze. Basically, that's why you're brewing beer. The non-fermentable sugars are also important because they will contribute towards the body of the beer, the taste, the foam, all kinds of like combination of these things of how the end profile of the beer will come out. If all you did was just concentrate on extracting the efficiency from your beer just to create alcohol, your beer would be very dry and wouldn't be as tasty as normally most people find beer to be. So let me explain what I'm doing here. First of all, I'm using an electric way. I'm using an electric kettle, which is what this is, and a pump to maintain temperatures, to maintain my range of temperatures. So basically gravity drops this, it goes to the grain, comes out, gravity, the pump picks it up, it goes to the top, and I always put this on the side so it doesn't create splashing and foam issues. Okay, that valve is wide open, and this one I adjust to find a perfect sweet spot so that the level is maintained, and you can also adjust your sweet spot if your pump has an adjustable valve like mine does. I'm not going to touch this because it's at a sweet spot, but you can adjust the flow rate with this. This is a Blenchment pump specifically designed for homebrewers. If you need a pump kit, get one of these. I highly recommend it. Just spend the extra few dollars, just buy it. Okay, so this is an electric hot liquor tank. There's a heating element. You cannot see it. It's underneath there. Okay, the heating element's over here. There's a temperature probe that comes through here. That sends a signal to the controller, which is over here. So this cable sends a signal. It's 138 temperature. That's Fahrenheit, and then this is our goal. We set it what we want the temperature to be, 152, right? So then the heating elements hooked up to this, and this controller is called a PID controller, proportional integral derivative. That's what those acronyms mean, and they control how much power to send to the heating element. So that's how that works. So anyways, let's talk about the enzymes. There's two types of enzymes. There's one called beta enzyme and alpha enzyme. And they do different things. The beta enzymes are the ones that extract the alcohol type of sugars that your yeast will convert to alcohol. But they are slow producing. So this is a protein chain. Just imagine this protein chain. They eat off at the ends of the protein chains. They process them at the ends, and it's a slow process. The alpha enzyme, most people imagine them breaking the protein chains in half, but that's not necessarily true. They can break them up at other points. It doesn't have to be perfectly in half. That's why I kind of did it like this. But they are much more efficient, more faster producing, but they don't extract the things that you want for your alcohol levels. It's those other things that you want in beer that add to the body, the foam, just the taste of the beer, stuff like that. So a combination of these two things, beta and alpha, is what will make your beer in the end. So most people, if you see, these are the temperature ranges where the beta is mostly active, between 130 and 150. The alpha is active 154, 167. So you can kind of see that they overlap about 152. Okay, so most people, these are starting out, and most people will just set their temperature to 152 Fahrenheit, okay, and just maintain that temperature during the whole mash for 60 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever it is, what kind of beer are you doing. But I do it a little bit differently. I started off at a lower temperature. First, I do my mashes for 90 minutes, not 60. In general, for mostly all beers, I have a timer here, so this is 60. And what I do is I slowly kind of go over here. Imagine this would be like 100, maybe 52. And this whole process will take about an hour. I do this because beta is slower acting, so I give it more time. And then once it reaches 152, I kind of like let another half an hour here so that both of these beta and alphas can kind of coexist. And this I've used this many times. I've brewed for a while now, many beers, hundreds of beers. This produces a really rich, deep beer for me that I like, at least. It gives me the efficiencies for both the alcohol, the ABVs, and the body, and all these other things that I talked about. So this is what I do. This is a fridge, by the way. It's painted with a chalk paint, so you can write on it. It's kind of a cool thing. It's one of my taps. The other one's being fixed. But yeah. So you can do something like that. So this is where you start tweaking your mashing schedule kind of as you become more familiar with how this works, become more advanced. But you can, most people, if you don't want to mess with it, just set it to 252, because this is kind of in the middle where both of these operate. They coexist at this temperature range, and that's a good good way to start. You will not go wrong with setting your temperature, maintaining it within that range. So anyways, what I do is, as I look at this timer, I kind of take marks. You know, this was the start. I maybe take 1 to 15-minute intervals, and I just kind of manually plot this out, a little chart. I don't have any fancy sensors that do my plot for me at this point. So this is what I do, just manually kind of observe that is it, I guess. Okay, take care.